A massive weekend of wrestling events is almost upon us, so without any further ado, let's get started. I'm Joe Renton with my review of WWE NXT. It is the go-home show for WWE NXT Stand and Deliver, which is taking place this Saturday just before WrestleMania 39 Night 1 goes live at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. And such a big event is only made possible with the help of men like Mayor James T. Butts Jr. Mayor Butts! And I bet Mayor Butts is absolutely going to be clapping his cheeks, as the kids say, when Stand and Deliver happens. And the NXT talents are looking to stand and deliver a great show and a great way to kick off WrestleMania weekend. But as for this particular show, creative said we're going to sit down and do fuck all the shit. This wasn't the worst show I've seen. It was the definition of a holding pattern go-home show. And the matches really didn't mean much of anything. And the pre-tapes there were a couple moments that weren't bad, but there were some parts where I was like, wow. If you're sold on NXT, you're locked in for Stand and Deliver. If you're on the fence, this show really didn't sway you one way or another. It might have swayed you to say, well, maybe I'll check out some things, but there are some parts I'm not really that interested in. And if you're not really sure about the NXT brand because you checked out of it a while ago and you decided to check out this show, this really wouldn't have inspired you to say, yeah, I need to see more of this. Those that are locked in will love it. Those that aren't, that's it. There ain't no winning them back. And honestly, the weekly NXT product is really, really, at times it's dire. At times, there are some good to great moments with high energy, high level work. But nevertheless, one quick thing about Stand Deliver. Well, two things actually. My predictions will be up a little bit after this. And also, in regards to watching Stand Deliver, I will not be able to watch it live because of the hours I work on the weekend, actually from Saturday all the way through Wednesday. I am going to watch Mania Night 1 and Mania Night 2 live. Stand Deliver, I will probably have the review up either sometime after Night 1, after I'm done reviewing Night 1, or I'll review it just before Night 2 of Mania starts. It just depends. Honestly, if this was like 4 years ago, I wouldn't have missed any takeover event or whatever. But now, if I gotta miss something, that paycheck's a lot more important. So, yeah, everybody get in here because we have a 20-man battle royal. I did not write down all the participants because I didn't even know who some of these people were. Wesley was on commentary. The winner is the last entrant in the 5-way for the North American Championship. Scripps immediately flies in. Remember when Reggie could have been something and now they just gave him a goofy mask? Speaking of goofs, Quincy Elliott got tossed out immediately. I don't think they're going to last very long. I think they're going to be one of the cuts because they are not very good. They also like to be a little shit stirrer, don't they? Oh boy, another battle royal. I don't know who some of these people are. We got a few possible feuds out of this. Odyssey Jones and Dijak. And Gulak and Hank Walker, which immediately got put on this show. It was down to Axiom Verge and Mega Man Frazier and Axiom 1. That's really all I have to say about that. Axiom Verge and Mega Man Frazier, as I call him, they put on a good, 3-match series recently. Wouldn't honestly hurt to do a best of 7 at some point. If one of these guys ever held a championship, a best of 7 would actually be pretty cool to see. Nearly 20 minutes of this. Nearly 20 minutes. All 5 of the men in the 5-way face-off. Dragon Lee's just suddenly there out of nowhere. This is not the only time the random people from multi-person matches would show up. Why are Pretty Deadly Glory on my TV? They interspersed packages where they were talking about the respective matches because they're the hosts of Stand and Deliver. So another reason why I'm glad I'm not watching it, because I can't stand these goddamn guys. They're a terrible tag team. Whether they can work or not, a terrible tag team, I can't stand them one goddamn bit. Chase University is all fired up except for Dookie Nukie Hudson. Briggs and Jensen and Fallon and Kiana are talking. This is stupid drama because Kiana's cheating on Jensen. Oh no. And she got them, she got Briggs and Jensen a chance to be in the 3-way match. If they beat Tony D and Stax, then they will be added to it, and it'll be a 4-way. So anyway, why is Von Wagner on my television? Why is he still there? What ancient totem did I defile? What satellite did I shoot out of the sky? Did I end up invading Area 51 without realizing it? Did I take an alien corpse that was the key to giving mankind immortality? Did I do this unknowingly and I have to put up with Von Wagner? Why do I have to put up with him? He can't work. He's not very good. He has that derp look on his goddamn face where it just looks like he's confused by anything that's more than a one-syllable word. And I'm sure he's a nice guy. Maybe. His dad was a hell of a lot better worker than he ever was. Yeah, Robert Stone's there with Tyler Bate and Chase U. Why is Von Wagner on my TV? Who did Tyler Bate piss off to be included in this Chase University stuff? Because Tyler Bate is a legit great athlete, and this is not good. Later, Thea mounts and fists Robert Stone. I guess that was an attempt at comedy. And a spiral tap, 1, 2, 3. At least the lobotomized zebra lost. And then a video package where the schisms show what will happen if they take over Chase University. At this point I wrote down, can both these teams lose? Honestly, just, god damn it, this is such bad television. Speaking of bad television, Roxanne Perez is not bad television because she can actually work. But I did have two questions. One, who was the assistant in the glasses? And two, why was Roxanne allowed to cut another promo on TV when she's reading like she's being held hostage by goddamn, by the Tauntauns or whatever, or by whatever creatures that were in the beginning of A New Hope. I'm going blank. Help me, Spock, help me. Roxanne says, "Hey, Sean." And that's terrible because, Sean couldn't even keep an eye. It's like, she's right in front of you, Sean. Roxanne says, "With a combination of body exhaustion and my anxiety." So that's the reason why she suddenly passed out. Here's the thing. Anxiety and dealing with anxiety is a real thing and can cause body exhaustion, that is. Roxanne just can't deliver it with any conviction because it's like somebody is holding a metaphorical gun right off camera, threatening to break every bone in her body. She doesn't say this in the most stilted way possible. And Roxanne's a hell of a goddamn talent. Wise beyond her years. Very good for being 21 years old. Obviously has the knack to do the stuff in the ring. Just not promos. And Sean says, "Oh, by the way, you're in the match. I want tests and everything, but I want to talk to these doctors, but you're in the match." So all this stuff of all these qualifying matches and all this stuff of hyping the fact that she lost to or she beats Mako Satomura but passed out and all this and everything, and now she's suddenly in the match. So now it's a 6-way match. What was the point of the qualifying matches? Why is any of this happening? Speaking of why isn't any of this happening? Valentina, Feroz, Frieza. Frieza's here suddenly and taking on Elektra Lopez, who looks great, and this match should have not been on television. Elektra's about where she's going to be for a while. Valentina is okay, but this wasn't very good, and this is all because Valentina Frieza decided to fist Elektra finally, and Elektra beat her with a choke bomb, Elektra Shock, which actually is kind of a cool name for a finisher. And then we get Eddie Thorpe, the former Carl Fredericks of New Japan, taking on Miles Bourne. What did they do to Carl Fredericks? Why is he a Native American DJ? I'm not saying there's not an ethnic, ethnicity truth here or something like that. I'm not saying there's not a little bit of him in this, but it's just weird. Like I don't get the whole thing. This match also went way too long, and I have nothing against Miles Bourne. I don't believe I've seen him more than maybe once on television. Eddie should have won in like 3 minutes flat, and this match went longer than that, or at least it seemed to. He won with a twist neck breaker. I hope that he lasts a while in NXT. I really do. I saw him in the New Japan Strong tapings. He has potential. So, Pretty Deadly Glory, talk about Gargano and Waller. At this point, I wanted them in an unsanctioned match with a team like, Hanson and Brody, and we could have seen how that worked out. I just think Sol Ruca is neat, and very flexible, and has a lot of potential. Gallus said something. All I know is that Wolfgang said sex or 8 guys, so he's either wanting to sex or eat some guys or watch them eat each other. It's the accents. I don't understand a fucking thing Gallus says. Indy Hartwell, Sol Ruca, and Ivy Nile took on each other in a last chance match. The winner is the final entrant in the ladder match. Now that Roxanne's there, it's a 6-way. Sol Ruca did a moonsault outside, and I was worried she was going to shatter her knees because that looked really stiff. This was fine. Some good near falls, good breaking up of the pins, and then Soul Snatcher, but suddenly Indy knocks her out of the ring, hits a fist from behind, 1, 2, 3, pins Ivy Nile. They seemingly have forgotten about Ivy Nile and Tatum because Tatum did not show up to cause any distraction or anything. But whatever, maybe they're waiting until after Stand Deliver. And then Grandma Stark and everybody else get their little graphics and they're in there. And man, Zoe has not been the same or whatever since she found out that Eddie Graham hasn't been alive for a while or whatever. Because she remembered being there when Eddie Graham helped find or was able to help found Florida Championship Wrestling. So actually, she was there originally when Florida was colonized or whatever. When she would wave or whatever and say, "Don't come here, I already colonized it," like I helped colonize Africa or Australia, not Africa. Let's go away from that. Let's definitely go away from that because Zoe would never imply that she's that she can't be racist because her dad's a minority. Zoe would never say that. She said that. It was uncomfortable. So yeah, Gigi and Lyra, or Rise of Lyra, who does the "What is this? What is this? What is this? Why do you do this?" Genuinely, she has a good look. Why? What is this? Why is she a mime? And Roxanne's also there and has her belt. I guess she's still the champion and she just has to defend her title here. This whole thing's confusing. This was so stupid. This was so dumb. Just have Roxanne say, "I want to face the best." And then you have qualifying matches. Yeah, you could argue it's a lot like Wes Lee, but the women have to earn their way. Well, Wes Lee just gets to choose people except for the last one. Waller is ready to sign if Gargano stays away. Spoiler, Gargano doesn't stay away. Package on Steiner and Carmelo. This was very well done. This got me into this. More shit like this would get me into it instead of Pretty Deadly Glory sucking every bit of charisma out of the goddamn room. Isla and Alba I believe they said they were going to go down on Fallon and Kiana. Maybe that was just what I wanted to hear. Would absolutely watch. Shut up, I don't have issues, you do. And then they decided to do some bondage on each other to bondage themselves. Or bind themselves to each other. I may have been misinterpreting this, or interpreting this the way I wanted. But let's just say Isla and Alba doing bondage, sign me the fuck up. Yeah, they're going to face Fallon and Kiana at Stand Deliver. Drew Gulak took on with Charlie Dempsey took on Hank Walker. This is all right. Hank isn't bad. He's got potential. And I don't know what the fuck Booker is on about. Neither does he. Eventually, Charlie Dempsey interferes and Hank gets rolled up 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Not bad. I'm not going to say it was great, but at least it sort of had a story to it. Briggs and Jensen took on Tony D and Stax. So, both these teams aren't bad. I don't care. I don't care. Kiana and Fallon are watching backstage, and Fallon says, "Well, when this is over, I'm telling him." And then they go out because Kiana's like, "Wait, don't tell him I'm cheating on him. This guy you went out on one goddamn date with." Are they even officially together? Anyway, I don't know what the hell happened. Some double electric chair drop, 1, 2, 3. And then Kiana says, "I'd rather show instead tell Jensen this," and she kisses him. Boy, Jensen's lucky. Cool. And so basically it's just that she's manipulative and that her and Fallon are likely going to lose the tag titles to Stand Deliver because at this point I think they almost have to because Alba and Isla, unless they're going to be called up, need to win the tag titles there. And then there's a bunch of secretaries, a bunch of security. It would have been cool if there was a bunch of secretaries. They all looked like Kiana's secretary. Sign me up for that human centipede. So here's Waller, and he takes the contract from Vic, berates Vic, says, "I'm going to do all this right in front of you. I'm going to beat up Gargano." He hypes up the fight, compares how Gargano was Mr. NXT, but now he has risen up, and he has done great things, and he will beat the shit out of Gargano. Well, he didn't say shit. And Gargano's music hits, and suddenly he is a cameraman, and then they have a pull apart, and we will see you this weekend for the Royal Rumble. That is it. That is it for NXT. I'm honestly amazed that I don't just snap sometimes watching this. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rittland. I'll see you soon.